vehicle industry in Uganda. Regulations on global warming and protecting the environment are now a global consideration in all our critical plans. We pray that you also, as you move forward, think about and implement some of these policies that protect our environment. And His Excellency the President will be making an announcement, a major speech on environment in a few weeks from now. As a country, we don't want to be left behind in sharing and tapping the opportunities that this presents. The modern automotive industry is advocating for production of electric vehicles. This is expected to contribute to the decarbonization of the transport sector. This transition to electrical vehicles also offers an opportunity for investment in EV charging infrastructure countrywide. I wish to commend the contribution of Warusimbi's Garage to Uganda's automotive industry over the last half-century. This has no doubt contributed to Uganda's development through the provision of employment and payment of government taxes. Warusimbi's Garage Limited specializes in stabilizing brand new cars and motorcycles, Toyota, Suzuki, and Yamaha, contributes to the nation's road safety and environment protection as well. I also take this opportunity to thank Warusimbi Garage Limited for not only being committed to the distribution of vehicles, but also offering off-sale support services with dedicated and skilled engineers and technicians. So the component of training that you have mentioned to us is truly appreciated. Ensuring genuine spare parts are stocked and readily available is a key offering that guarantees the good performance and mechanical conditions of the vehicles they do supply. And now that you have the Minister of Works who is here, I'm just reading the speech of the President. I cannot direct him. I wish I had that. That one was never delegated to me, but I would have directed him to direct all government vehicles to be working with you, because that was your request that you made. So earlier on, before you came in, Minister, they were requesting that some of these government vehicles, which are taken to different garages without guarantees of spare parts, we could consider giving it a priority in our operations. So he has heard that while I was reading the speech of the President, that one I also mentioned it. So finally, I wish to once again assure Warusimbi's Garage Limited and other investors in the automotive sector and the wider mobility industry of government commitment to providing an enabling business climate. We have now made it a policy, especially for import substitution. If you produce something here, we put a tax to protect it. We put a tax to protect it. We also put in our incentives a provision for indigenous companies and reduce the level of investment. If you are a foreign investor, to benefit from tax holidays, you invest $10 million US, but for a local investor, it is $5 million US dollars. And there's nothing that stops you from working even with others, partnering with others, listing this important and solid company on the stock exchange so that other people can buy in and grow it. So with your inspiring speech, we hope that 50 years from now, this will be on the stock exchange of London when we come to celebrate it. I wish to encourage you to take advantage of available investment opportunities in this industry, notably those presented by the drive towards local vehicle manufacturing, the gradual elimination of importation of used vehicles, and also put a tax on used vehicles. We put a really big tax on used vehicles, so that was, we reduce the years, but also increase the tax. So that's also an opportunity for you. We are supporting you. We are supporting because we know you import brand new cars and the transition to electrical vehicles. I once again congratulate the Warusimbi family and the Warusimbi Garage Limited and wish you the best of luck for the future. Thank you and God bless you.
That's the automation industry in Uganda, getting to understand how it really performs. Maybe just a brief highlight on what were hinted in there. That is by State Minister of Minister of Planning and of course planning, that is finance, that is David Bahati. Now we get to realize that they talked about supporting the private sector, of course in owning the businesses, the rise of the private sector in the automation industry, and also we looked at focusing. They were urged, the participants were urged to focus efforts to the African market. And of course, one of the cited markets is the African Continental Free Trade Area. Getting to see how it really operates in there. Now, we still take a look at getting to see the potentials this industry has, despite the fact that it's raising up, but there are other sectors that are urged that are likely, of course, to largely benefit from this sector. Maybe before we get into another aspect here, I will have a look at a report regarding research on the automotive industry that is in Uganda. Now, the Uganda automotive market size share outlook, and of course looking at the growth and opportunities, but now this was written between 2022 and 2030. Anticipations is projected till 2030 report, and of course which presents a comprehensive analysis on the country's automotive market. Now, Uganda passenger car sales outlook, that is Uganda and commercial vehicle and demand are forecast during this very period. And of course, further vehicle production in forecast from 2023, this very year we're in, till 2030. Now, key trends and critical insights into Uganda automotive, that is market, along with key drivers, restraints, and growth opportunities are presented, of course, in this also very report. Now, we see here that increasing adoptions, that is of electric vehicles and spiking demand for advanced safety, connectivity, convenience, and driver assist features are noted to shape the modern automotive industry in Uganda. Now, increasing the battery efficiency and the EV charging infrastructure and handling chip shortage and potential challenges for auto manufacturers. Now, OEM manufacturers, automotive, of course, manufacturers here are planning to expand their production bases in Uganda. And of course, the government of Uganda also prioritizes the automotive segment as a key revenue generator and encouraging flow to FDIs in the automotive industry. Uganda is one of the most promising and fastest growing, that is mobile markets in the region. And get to see that Uganda automobile industry is supported by multiple factors such as labor availability, R&D efforts, geographical advantage, and of course looking at government support at the same time. Now, with a positive outlook for the economy and greater household purchasing power, automobile sales in the country are set to witness a strong surge, that is in sales by 2030. So now that is regarding that industry, and we're seeing quite a positive change. And yeah, let's see what really comes up, and definitely we shall be letting you know what is up in that industry. Well, at this particular time, we're getting into the story preview of the day, and with me on set, I'm joined with one of my favorite reporters, that is Benson Mumbere, and of course he's going to be sharing with us what he really anticipates regarding today. What should we expect in business today? Benson,
yeah.
Welcome.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, so I talked about the IGG coming on the media center before we came on air.
Yeah, the Inspector General of Government will be coming to media center tonight. That's Betty Kamya. Is of course her war on zero tolerance to corruption is still on. And remember, she had planned to start investigating these government officials, personal, like on individual basis, see what actually do they own. Is it commensurate to the money that they earn from government? I remember a couple of days, like in 2022, that was the 21st, there's a report that came out that IGG has recovered over 30 billion from thieving officials. And I think that's the war that she's still on at the moment. So today she will be coming up to the Uganda Media Center to highlight more of this information. Remember last time she said it before the president, and the president was like, no, if we embark on investigating those government officials on their properties and stuff, and see whether they correspond to the money they get, you will scare them out. They will start investing from outside in the foreign countries. So very many things were said. Why is the president saying so? Why blah blah blah? You know the politics here in the country. So today she'll be coming at the Uganda Media Center and tell us exactly what she's on now, where has she reached, when is it starting, and how is she going to do it. Remember Maria Gonja? This woman here, Bet Kamya, replaced Maria Gonja. Yes. And before Maria Gonja left, she was like, sometimes if I do my investigation, I realize that most of the people who are too corrupt are close to the president.
Okay.
You get
to the president.
So I got confused. And what? And these are most of the stories. But is it true that the people who are corrupt are even close to the president? We don't know. So we want to know. We want to see what Bet Kamya will also bring to us in her reign at the moment.
Now, Benson, you talked about that report of 30 billion.
Yes,
recovered.
30 billion recovered from corruption.
That was last
from thieving officials. Every time they go to different districts, they engage with those cows and the what? They save money. They get money from them. The money that they had stolen from government, they get it back to the docket of the government. And by 21st 2022, IGG had already recovered 30 billion from those thieving officials.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, Benson, there is something, if you really, I'm not so much of a politician, but there is something I've come to realize.
Okay.
There is a reason why I talked about that, I emphasized that 30 billion. You see, in other countries, in developed countries, when such, in most cases, when they get hold of corrupt officials, for example, yes, like probably you're doing illegal business, you're a government person, you're doing illegal business. They freeze your assets, and they freeze your money, and they get back that, they recover that money. But in most cases, what that money does, the government uses it to finance its future operations. You know, some of this money is in bare bonds and to finance different operations. And actually, that's the money some of those countries give to us as donations, money from corrupt officials. Well, now in Uganda, that money, that $30 billion discovered, what is that money used for? Anything? Where does it go after it's being according to maybe does she reveal what this money that is going to do, or they're going to invest it back in the country?
It's not a $30 billion, it's just a 30 billion Uganda shillings.
Sorry,
not in dollars.
No, I'm sorry.
Sometimes that money, if it's recovered, they always say that it goes back to the consolidated fund.
Consolidated fund.
Yes. So this is always the money that still help in as far as service delivery is concerned.
But are we seeing impact of that money into the consolidation fund?
Now these are the questions that we are going to ask her today at the Uganda Media Center. Yes. So, but according to her statement, that was 2022. They say that over 86 cases were prosecuted and 36 officials were convicted, while others at different levels of court processes. You get so if she's doing this. That's okay. 86 cases being prosecuted, 34 officials convicted. That's from different districts. I'm giving you the data that was collected in 2022. Now we want to see what has she impacted in 2023. What has she accomplished at the moment? You get that's what we going to talk to her. And now there's another statement. People normally say that every time IGG officials or whatever, they always hook these small other positions, the cows and the what. But when it comes to bigger positions, those high profile, big men who are corrupt, they normally call them the big fish. That they fear to do what? To comprehend them. And the IGG is only biting these other small officials, but not the top officials. So what happens to be also corrupt.
Okay, which is fine. So
Yes.
that means of all the investigations that are being carried out, none has been carried out from those officers?
Now that's the hearsay that her office do not work on those bigger offices, even when they are also corrupt. Now we are going to learn it from her today.
I think
at
that
Uganda
should be
Media
a cooperation
Center.
from
Yeah,
her.
it
A
should
hearsay.
be. It is a hearsay that your offices or your office of the IGG do not bite the bigger corrupt officials there on top. You are normally looking at these cows, those district accountants and what. What do you have to say about that? Though that is the question that is going to be posed to her at Uganda Media Center. Yes.
Then also looking into this aspect of if they can collect 30 billion shillings from those, I'm thinking how much more.
Thieves. We call them thieves. That's how they call them. Not me. That's how they call them.
Of course, they are thieves. It's clear. So if they can collect $30 billion from, 30 billion Ugandan shillings from the thieves on lower officers, how much more can we anticipate if they really delve deeper to investigate
now
those
this is what everybody is thinking, that if her office of the IGG, that's Betty Kamya, can recover 30 billion from these thieves, from these corrupt acts and whatever. Now, if she gets to also comprehend the top government officials who happens to be corrupt. I'm not saying every government or high-ranked government official is corrupt, but because there are those, but of course there are those who are corrupt. You get?
Yeah.
Now, if she gets also to work on those people out there, that means government can recover much more money compared to this.
Okay.
You get?
Wow.
And that's very, but still, is it possible?
It is. But then she should also give us projections of money. What are the projections if they went into to investigate those high offices? That is, if at all, the hearsay is right.
Now, if she gets there, it is our prayer. If she finishes, if she works on them, and she recovers that billion, I know it's billions and billions of money.
Even a trillion
can be there.
Yeah.
It's the prayer of every Ugandan because we need money. The economy has to grow. Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much.
The fight on corruption is not as easy as you people think.
It's not.
The fight on corruption is not as easy as
what's making it hard.
Like Muliagonja said before when she was still in office. This is on record. You get? She said most of the people are hard to be investigated on because every time you say you get intimidations, others are telling you, me, I'm close to the president. Even when they are lying, you never know. You get?
So being close to the president is a code.
It's a code. You get? It is their code that they normally use. So a fight on corruption, but still, that comes back to you, a person, a local person, even the small offices that are here in Uganda. Corruption has become so. Chitutambulira musai. You find even from the grassroots. You find that even in a small office, to get a small job there where you're going to earn 200,000 per month, you have to first give in. You get? It's like so. If you grow up with that thing, what if you get to a bigger office? It will be the same. It will be the same. So even sometimes we shouldn't even blame the government.
The roots where it started from.
The thing where did it start from? You see, it started with you yourself. Okay, it is the mandate of the government to fight it and can fight it. But what about you also in a small office there in Chireka or in Bukoto where I come from? Before you give a work or before you employ somebody, you first request for 50,000 application or what? Real? That's the problem. Wow. So that's why I'm saying the fighting against corruption is not as easy as we think. Let's pray for her, Madam Betty Kamya. What she will do, what she will fail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting in there. And of course, we shall be catching more of this story at Business today at 9 p.m. Our English News Bulletin. As Benson Mumbere will be getting that information, breaking it down. And of course, more questions will be asked to the IGG to give us what is really the funds that go into the consolidated fund What is the impact of that? That's the bigger picture in here, getting to understand. Yes, money is recovered on a daily basis, but are we seeing the impact of that money coming back to the economy? Well, that and more will be coming up in the business bulletin tonight. It's exactly 28 past 9 a.m. It's been a story preview, but of course don't forget Zabu star 292 hash, as you can purchase stocks on Altex, and of course government bonds at the same time. Star 292 hash is the magic code in there, and you will be able to purchase any of your choice that you wish: government bonds, stocks, company stocks. And remember, the markets open at 8:15 and a.m. and they close at exactly 3:15 p.m. That is from Monday to Friday. And very interesting that with little as 15,000, you will be in position to buy the stocks. And if you feel like you're tired of owning the stocks, anytime you feel like in an instant, you can actually sell those stocks, those shares, and you will get back your money in instant, and it will come with a profit since the stocks were accumulating the money in there. Zabu, my money, my future, no more hassle. Okay, at this particular time, let's get into a short break, and I shall be returning with the SMB on ground as we wrap up the show. Good morning.